Hello, welcome to my videos in my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the NFL 2024 season, Week 4 prediction. Where tomorrow we'll start the Week 4 with the Thursday night football between the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys, and the next Sunday we'll have 14 no, 13 games, and the Monday in the Monday night football will have another two games. Remember that this season will have a double header in the Monday night football. This is the second time. This week will be the second time. Remember that the first one was the last one. The third one will be in the week 7, and the last one will be the week 14. So like the last three videos, I'm going to give my prediction about the games that will be played this week. So let's start with tomorrow's game, the Thursday night football, where in another divisional game, where the New York Giants will receive the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow in 2015. It's third time. Remember that in this moment, the both teams have the same record, 1-2. 1-2. The both teams are in the border of the division, of the NFC division. The last week, the Giants did the surprise and defeated the Browns as a away team, and the Dallas Cowboys lost against the Ravens in home in a back-to-back games playing home. So I think that this will be great for the Cowboys because they will play again as a away team. Because remember, in the last three games that the Dallas Cowboys have played, they have lost the three games and in a full way. So I think this will be a close game, but I think that the Cowboys in this moment are a better team than the Giants. If they remember that when there is a divisional game, the game is tougher and closer. So I think that the Dallas Cowboys will win this game by 7 or 10 point difference, and they will get back to the victory. And in the games that will in the games that will play in Sunday, in the first shift, the games that will be playing at 13 o'clock Eastern time will have eight games, where the first game will be the game between the Carolina Panthers against the Cincinnati Bengals and Carolina. In this moment, the Panthers have a record of 1-2. They did a surprising defeat the last week, the Ravens, as a away team, in a great game by the Andy Dalton, the Panthers quarterback, where he played against his former team, the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Cincinnati Bengals are the surprise, but as a bad news, because in this moment they are winless. They are in the border of the AFC North, and this is a very weird situation. The last week the Bengals lost in the Monday Night Football against the Commanders. About this game, I know that the Panthers play better than in the first two games, the last week against the Las Vegas, but the Cincinnati Bengals are a better team than the Las Vegas. So I think that the Bengals will win this game because they have better team, especially in the offense side. And I think that the Bengals will win this game by 10 or 14 point difference, and they will win its first game of the season. In another divisional game, the Atlanta Falcons will receive the New Orleans Saints and Atlanta. Remember that both teams lost in the week 3. Atlanta against the Chiefs. That, to be honest, they lose this game in a full situation, because in the last quarter, especially in the last possession of the game by the Falcons, they had the opportunity to win this game, but they made several mistakes in the offense side. I know that was a very bad call from against the Falcons and in favor to the Chiefs, but the Falcons had the opportunity to win this game and they couldn't. And the Saints were humiliated in home, where they play against the Eagles. The Eagles dominate this game and they won this game. About this game, this is a tremendous game because it's a divisional game. In this moment, the Saints have a record of 2-1. They are leading the NFC South, and the Falcons have a record of 1-2. This will be a close game, and I think that in this moment the Falcons will have the advantage because they will play in home. So I think that the Falcons will win this game by 3 or 7 point difference. In another divisional game, the Houston Texans will receive the Jacksonville Jaguars and Houston. Both teams lost in the week 3, where the Houston Texans lost in a surprise for me, because I thought they were gonna to win that game. They lost against the Minnesota Vikings and they were humiliated. And the Jacksonville Jaguars were humiliated in the last Monday football against the Jaguars, where they lost by 37 points. In this moment, the Houston Texans are leading the division. Both teams play in the AFC South, where the Houston Texans are leading the division with a record of 2-1, and the Jaguars are winless. So, about this game, remember that always when there is a divisional game, the game is closer as slower. I think that the Texans will win this game because the Jaguars aren't playing a very great football. So I think that the Texans will win this game by 7 or 14 point difference, and they will win his third game of the season, and the Jaguars will fail to a record of 0-4, and let's see, maybe the red alert will turn on, and maybe will be time to discuss if the Doug Peterson, the Jaguars head coach, and Trevor Lawrence, the Jaguars quarterback, will save the position. In another game, the New York Jets will receive the Denver Broncos at New York or New Jersey in the MetLife Stadium. Remember that the Jets last week in the Thursday Night Football where they didn't have any problem, and they defeated the Patriots in the beginning of the week 3. And the Broncos, this is a surprise, they traveled to the East Coast, to the Tampa, and they defeated by 19-point difference the Buccaneers. In this moment, the Jets are in the second place in the AFC East with a record of 2-1, and the Broncos are in the third place with a record of 1-2 in the AFC West. About this game, the Jets have better team than the Broncos, especially in the offense side by Aaron Rodgers, and I think that the both defenses are very great. Well, I think because the Jets have better team, but better offense, and they will play in home, I think that the Jets will win this game by 10 or 14 point difference, and they will win the third victory of the season. In another divisional game, the Green Bay Packers will receive the Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay. Remember that both teams won in the last week, in the week 3. Both teams had an easy game in the week 3. The Packers visited the Tennessee and defeated the Tennessee for a 16-point difference, and the Vikings didn't have any problem. They humiliated the Texans and they won it by 27-point difference. In this moment, the Vikings are one of the 4 teams undefeated. In this moment, they are leading the NFC North, with a record of 3-0, and the Packers are in the 3rd place with a record of 2-1. About this game, it looks like that the Jordan Love, the Packers quarterback, is gonna to return to this game, but it's not still confirmed this situation. About this game, the Vikings in this moment are a better team. They are playing a tremendous football, and I think that the Vikings are gonna to win this game because not because the offense, but I think that by the defense side, because they are playing a very great football. So I think that the Vikings will win this game by 7 or 10 point difference, and they will continue undefeated. In another game, in the first shift, the Indianapolis Colts will receive my favorite team, my favorite Steelers, and Indianapolis. Remember that both teams won in the last week. The Colts defeated the Chicago Bears at home by 5-point difference, and they won his first game of the season. Pittsburgh Steelers, they didn't have any problem and defeated by 10-point difference the Los Angeles Chargers. They took away the Chargers Invictus, and the Steelers are still undefeated. About that game, the Steelers had a very complicated. The first half was very close, but in the second half, the Steelers played a tremendous football level in both sides of the ball, and they won that game. And they play a very great football, especially in the defense side. In this moment, the Colts, are in the second place in the AFC South with a record of 1-2, and the Steelers are leading the AFC North with a record of 3-0. About this game, the Steelers always suffer, and it's always complicated to go to Indianapolis to play there. But seeing how the Steelers are playing and how the Colts offenses is having some struggles, I think that the Steelers will win this game. But again, this game will be a game with little points because the Steelers defense is playing a tremendous football, and the Steelers offense is playing good football but not great. So I think that the Steelers will win this game by 7 or 10 point difference, and the Steelers will win his first game of the season and will still be undefeated. And in another game, the Chicago Bears will receive Los Angeles Rams and Chicago. Remember that the Chicago lost against Indianapolis by 5-point difference, and the Los Angeles Rams didn't surprise because they defeated the 49ers. And the best news is that they were losing by 10-point difference in the fourth quarter with less than 7 minutes to play, and they won it against all the best. the bets. In this moment, the Bears are in the bottom of the NFC North with a record of 1-2, and the Rams are in the third place with a record of 1-2 in the NFC West. About this game, the Rams are a better team in all the unities in the offense, defense, and quarterback, head coach position. So, but it's always difficult for the West Coast team where they travel to play with the against East teams in 13 o'clock Eastern time. So I think that the Rams will win this game by 7 and 10 point difference, and they will win the second game of the week of the season. And the last game of the first shift, this will be a very great game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will receive the Philadelphia Eagles and Tampa. Remember, the Buccaneers were upset the last week where they lost in home against the Broncos. In that moment, winless, and the Philadelphia Eagles travel to New Orleans. They dominate the game, but they suffer a lot, and they were scoreless in the end of the third quarter, but they scored 15 points in the last quarter, and they won it. About this game, about this situation, the Buccaneers are leading alongside the Saints in the NFC South, and it's the same with the Eagles that they are leading alongside the Commanders in the NFC East. About this game, this will be a very tremendous game, but I think that the Eagles are a better team than the Buccaneers in all the unities, if you compare all the teams. And Eagles are the favorite teams to win the NFC conference. So I think that the Eagles will win this game by 7 or 14 point difference. And the game that will start in the second shift in the 16:05 Eastern time and 16:25 Eastern time will have 4 games. The first game will be the San Francisco 49ers will receive the New England Patriots and Santa Clara, California, and Levi's Stadium. Remember that both teams lost in the last week. The 49ers really were upset, and they lost an incredible game that they don't explain how they lost this game because they were leading by 10 point difference with less than 7 points. With less than 7 minutes in the last quarter, and the Patriots were humiliated by the Jets in the Thursday Night Football the last Thursday. In this moment, the 49ers are in the bottom of the NFC West with a record of 1-2. This is a surprise. And the Patriots are in the bottom of the AFC West with the same record 1-2. About this game, I know that the 49ers have a lot of injured players, but they are a better team than the Patriots, and they have better team and players than the Patriots, and they will play in home. So I think that the 49ers will have an easy game, and they will win this game by 14 or more point difference. In another game, in the second game of the second shift, the Arizona Cardinals will receive the Washington Commanders and Arizona. Remember the Cardinals lost the last week against the Detroit Lions and Co. By 7 point difference, and the Commanders did a surprise and they upset the Bengals as a away team by 5 point difference in a tremendous game of the Commanders quarterback. About this, in this moment, the Arizona Cardinals are in the second place in the NFC West with a record of 1-2, and the Commanders are leading alongside the Eagles in the NFC East. I know that the Commanders play a very great football the last Monday Night Football, but they will play a back-to-back away teams, and I think that the Cardinals are a better team than the Commanders, especially in the defense side. So I think that the Cardinals will win this game by 10 or 14 point difference. In the second game of the third game of the second schedule in a divisional game, the Los Angeles Chargers will play against the Kansas City Chiefs in Inglewood, California, in the SoFi Stadium. Remember that last week the Chargers lost against my Steelers, and they lost the undefeated, and the Chiefs are still undefeated, the reigning champion team. The Chiefs are not playing a very great football, to be honest, but they are undefeated, and be careful when they start playing a very great football. In this moment, the Chiefs are in the second place with a record of 2-1, and the Chiefs are leading the division with a record of 3-0, and the Chargers are in the second place with a record of 2-1 in the AFC West. About this game, I don't know if the Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert is gonna to play this game, and there is always to play against the reigning champion team and the Chiefs. So I think that this will be a very close game. Remember that the Chiefs are gonna play a very great football, especially in the offense side, but they are playing a tremendous defense game. And if the Justin Herbert doesn't play this game, if he plays this game, the Chiefs are better teams. So I think that this game will be a game that will be defined in the last minutes of the game. I think that this game will be the difference will be between 3 to 7 point difference, and I think that the Chiefs will win this game by 3 to 7 point difference, and they will still be undefeated. And the last game of the second schedule, the Las Vegas Raiders will play against the Cleveland Browns and Las Vegas. Remember that both teams lost in the last week. The Raiders were humiliated and they were embarrassed in the national game where they lost against the Panthers, the worst team in this moment, in my opinion, in home. And they were home they lost by 14 point difference. And the Cleveland Browns were humiliated by another bad team, the New York Giants, in home by 5 point difference, I think. So let me see. By 6 point difference. In this moment, both teams have the same record. The Browns are in the third place in the AFC North with the record of 1-2, and the Raiders are in the bottom of the AFC West with the same record. I think that these two teams are very bad teams, but I think that the Raiders are going to win this game, and there will be the surprise of the week because they will play in home. So I think that this game will be a very ugly game, but I think that the Raiders will win this game by 1 or 3 point difference, and this game will be defined in the last play of the game. And in the Sunday Night Football, and the 2020 third time, the Baltimore Ravens will receive the Buffalo Bills and Baltimore. This is the best game of the week in my opinion. Where the last week the Ravens defeated the Dallas by 3 point difference. They have an easy game. They have the games finish or close in the end of the third quarter. They relax its football, and Dallas almost tied the game, but the Ravens could win the game, and the Bills didn't have any problem. They were leading by more than 30 points in the halftime in his last game against the Jaguars in the Monday Night Football, and they won the game at 37 point difference. About this game, this will be a tremendous game. I think that the Ravens are in favorite, but in my opinion, the Bills are the best team that is playing in this moment, and also the Ravens are favorite because they will play in home. So I think that the Bills in this moment are the best team in the league, and I think that the Bills will win this game by 1 or 3 point difference, and I think that the most probably is this game will be defined in the last second of the game. And in the Monday Night Football, by back-to-back weeks, we'll have 2 games in the Monday. In the first game, the Miami Dolphins will receive the Tennessee Titans and Miami, and 19:30 is third time. Remember that both teams lost in the last week. The Dolphins traveled to the West Coast and they lost against the Seattle Seahawks by 21 point difference. And the Tennessee Titans received the Packers and they lost by 16 point difference. In this moment, these two teams are the worst team in the league. The Dolphins are in the bottom of the division in the AFC West with a record of 1-2. And the Titans have a record of 0-3. They are in the bottom of the division in the AFC South. This will be an ugly game, to be honest. One of the worst teams in the league. And remember that Tua Tagovailoa is not going to play until in these next 3 weeks. So let's see who is going to be the Dolphins starting quarterback in that moment. About this game, I think that the Dolphins have better team than the Titans. The Titans will be or are one of the worst teams in the league. So I think that the Dolphins will win this game, but because the Titans are worse team than the Dolphins, so I think that the Dolphins will win this game by 3 or 7 point difference. But in a game with little points, but this will be a very ugly game. And in the last game of the week, the Detroit Lions will play against the Seattle Seahawks and Detroit. And 2015 is third time. This is the second best game of the week. The Lions traveled to Arizona and defeated Arizona by 7 point difference. And Seattle Seahawks didn't have any problem. And they have an easy game. They have the game close on finish in the halftime, and they defeated by 21 point difference the Miami Dolphins. In this moment, the Vikings, no, the Lions are in the second place in the NFC North with a record of 2-1, and the Seattle Seahawks are one of the four teams in the league in this moment with an undefeated record in the NFC West. This will be a tremendous game, but I think that the Lions are a better team than the Seattle Seahawks because they have better team, better quarterback, better defense, better offense, a better head coach than the Seattle Seahawks. And the Lions are going to play in home, and they will use a black uniform. This will be a very great uniform. So the Lions are a better team, and in my opinion, alongside the 49ers and the Eagles, are the favorite to win the NFC Championship and represent the NFC in the next Super Bowl. So I think that the Lions are going to win this game. This will be a tough game, but in the end, the Lions will win this game by 7 or 10 point difference. So in this video, I got my prediction about what I think is going to happen in the Week 4 and NFL 2024 regular season. Let's see how many games I am right in the end of the week. This is all for today. See you next video. Gibran.